What's good? What's good? What's good in the hood? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about it. Man, times have changed to the point where they didn't got just weird. Haven't they? Man. Now, it's all this talk about what happened with young Chris. Why Jay and young Chris fell out. Well, the thing is, once Jay left Def Jam, it was only a selected few that was still like around in the circle. Like Chris and Neef was basically done, at that time after the whole Def Jam collapse thing. But a lot of inaccuracies were told when people were telling stories because they actually didn't know. I believe Choke interviewed young Chris, and Chris was talking about how he just felt some type of resistance when trying to get his projects and work out. But what Chris failed to mention is his distance from Rihanna, which was evident. So if you saw his distance from, getting stuff done and moving in that direction, then you understood the process. Because a lot of people blame Jay-Z for everything because he was the head honcho. Nothing moves without Jay saying so. He was under Jay. Jay borrowed a lot of stuff from him. Took his "Excuse Me, Miss" and made a song of it. That's a Philly thing that they used to say in Philly. "Excuse me, Miss." Jay made a song out of that "Give It to Me." He basically took that from I want to say Young Chris and them again. So there's a lot of stuff he borrowed, and it's a lot of things that was being said that Jay didn't like, that these guys were what they would be, in his word, is disloyal, and do interviews and say certain things about how they helped out on a project to try to make Jay look less than what he is. That's how Jay looked at it. But Jay has never tried to blackball young Chris. And they was, Choke gonna come out. No matter what happened, Jay had something to do with it. Either Jay or Dame. "You sure it wasn't Jay?" "I swear, man, it probably was Jay or Dame. Jay broke my jaw, right?" Oh, man. So, anyway, he assumed it was Jay that put a stop to everything. All because of the photo. We're going to go more into this on the Patreon. But the person that was really responsible for all of this to fall out the way it did was a person named Jay Brown. Now, I got that information. So, shoot the mess. They was like, a lot of people blame Jay for everything, man, and it be people you don't even understand. The Jay-Z and Kanye beef started with Jay Brown. Everything normally starts with Jay Brown. A lot of people just don't know that. And you might say, who is Jay Brown? Well, he's the guy that looks like, he got the beluga whale forehead. He got off the really short yellow bus. That guy. He's a quote unquote talent scout, and he loves Rihanna. He found Rihanna. He brought Rihanna to Jay. Brought her up there like, look what I found. They're like this dolphin head. You done found a good one. I'll take it from here. Going back in the water. So, Jay loves Rihanna. I mean, loves Riri. Riri is his heart. There's nothing in the world that would come with this guy and Riri, period. And he loved him some Riri. But if the boss says, I got it from him, he had it from there. So when the whole Chris Brown situation happened, the person who was venomously upset about a lot of it and was like, Beyonce ain't coming in. It was all Jay Brown's. And I'm quite sure he had Jay-Z's permission. So Jay-Z wasn't lying when he said, I never said me and B wasn't coming. That was Jay Brown. Jay Brown said we wasn't coming. So he's right. Jay never lied. He didn't say they weren't coming. He let somebody else give them that. If Chris Brown performs at that BET Award while they're there, oh no, they not coming. They wasn't rocking with Chris. So, to tie all this in a bow, what got young Chris in hot water is the fact that he actually knows why when he's trying to act like he really didn't get it. It's not the fact that there was a picture taken. He didn't take the picture. He was on a boat with Rihanna, Riri, and a couple of her friends, and they out there sunbathing, vacationing in the sun. And she's topless, and she's sitting on top of him. And all of a sudden, this photo that he didn't take shows up on some social media platform, some small time. But he took it and retweeted it on his mainstream page. That's why. They would have handled all of that and it wouldn't have been on Chris at all. Nobody would have been mad at Chris. They were mad at Chris because he retweeted it and put it on his page to try to capitalize and get viewership and get his views knocked up. They didn't like that. They didn't like it one bit. And the person who really snapped out was Jay Brown. He went and told Jay, look what he did, Jay. See, look at that young Chris. See, I told him Rihanna's gonna be having no young Chris. Alright? I'll handle it from here. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. So, it came down to Jay Brown's interference. Now, the other thing Jay Brown told him, which probably wasn't true, is that young Chris was going to use the photo for a mixtape that he was putting out on the streets. And it was going to have that photo on the mixtape. And people already telling me he finna put out a mixtape and had that photo as the cover for the mixtape. That's never going to happen. Trust me. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, though. I got it from here. So, as we move forward, don't forget to donate to the Cash App. Carceno's the name on the Cash App. That's Karceno. And we will be on the Carceno for Life Patreon discussing this further. And yes, you'll be able to see the photos. But the key here was Jay Brown. Jay was that guy. He was the one that made it all worthwhile. Jay Brown was the guy that put the key and ignition and said go. Jay Brown. Now, do I need to even tell you or mention, say, breathe a word of, do I even have to say these things? I don't feel I should. I think it kind of explains itself to the fullest. You knew how the operation went. You knew who was the instigator. Did you listen to Kanye West? Then I messed around and told Jay Browns. Should have known that was going to come back around. See? You should have listened when Ye told you that. You thought he was just playing? Anyway, I'm out. And we will discuss this more in detail on the Patreon. And yes, again, there will be pictures. Pictures, I'm quite sure. Well, if you're on my Patreon, you already know how it goes. It will be in VIP, so you already know what time it is, all right? And by the way, there's 4 videos here. Don't forget to click them, stick them,